Fox News alert, and the news is breaking on the Boston bombing situation with news that 3 more people are now in custody, in connection with the deadly attack on the Boston Marathon. Welcome to America Live, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. The news breaking a short time ago, and new details are just coming in. We understand these new suspects, that is the term being used by law enforcement, were arrested by federal authorities. And Fox has confirmed that they are being accused of providing some form of help after the attack to the 2 main suspects in the case, Dzhokhar and Tamerlan Tsarnaev. Tamerlan Tsarnaev is now dead. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was captured and is in custody. We are now hearing that 2 of the men just arrested can be seen in this photograph with their friend Dzhokhar Tsarnaev in New York's Times Square. You can see their faces have been unblurred for this photo. The photo is believed to have been taken back in April of 2012. Tsarnaev is the one in the gray hoodie. The 2 men standing beside him, with their faces unblurred, are the new suspects, 2 of the 3 new suspects, who are both citizens of Kazakhstan. A source tells Fox News a 3rd suspect is an American citizen. These are live pictures from outside the federal courthouse in Boston, where we are expecting a press conference soon from an attorney representing those 2 suspects from Kazakhstan, and where they may be making their initial appearance as soon as this hour. We continue to await. We are told to keep your eyes on the federal courthouse, and therefore we will, and we will bring you there when and if news breaks. First, however, our chief intelligence correspondent, Catherine Herridge, who has had a busy afternoon. She's live in Washington with the very latest. Catherine?
Well, thank you, Megyn, and good afternoon. A source close to the investigation confirms to Fox News that the 2 men are from Kazakhstan, both knew Dzhokhar through UMass Dartmouth, and they are now facing obstruction of justice charges. Fox News was first to report on Friday that the 2 young men, who we confirmed are standing in this picture with Dzhokhar in a photo from Times Square, believed to be the spring of 2012, were initially held on immigration violations. One is a current student, the other a former student at UMass Dartmouth, where they met Dzhokhar. After a sweep of their apartment complex on the weekend of April 20th, 5 days after the bombing, a national security source confirmed to Fox News that members of the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force wanted to question the 2 men about their actions after the 18th, when the FBI posted this surveillance video of the bombing suspects, and whether they took any action to help the Tsarnaevs at Dzhokhar's direction. Fox News has learned that at some point after the bombings, when the Tsarnaevs were on the run, the 2 friends of Dzhokhar's went to his apartment and took some computers and other equipment. At some point thereafter, it's alleged they tried to dump the equipment, but it's unclear whether the equipment had any investigative value. Right now, we're waiting for the White House briefing and whether we'll see comments from spokesman Jay Carney on this new round of arrests connected to the case. On Friday, just shortly after your broadcast, Megyn, the head of the House Intelligence Committee told Fox News that the scope of the investigation was expanding, citing persons of interest in the FBI case.
It is very clear when you take the totality of it that there was some outside counsel to these individuals on how to build and how to detonate. That's why that 6 months in Russia becomes so important, and other persons of interest that I know investigators would like to talk to.
Fox News has also confirmed that the 3rd suspect arrested in connection to the Boston bombings is a U.S. citizen, and he's allegedly described to Fox as someone who also took steps to block investigative matters in the case, Megyn.
Catherine, do we know whether the FBI believes that these 3 helped these guys, knowing that they were suspects in the Boston Marathon bombing?
One of the key questions in our initial reporting on Friday was whether there was some sort of knowledge that they were suspects. And what we were told by a national security source is that the Joint Terrorism Task Force wanted to understand whether they took any actions at Dzhokhar's direction, even if those actions were unwitting. And when we spoke to a former member of the Joint Terrorism Task Force this morning, he said that on a legal basis, whether they took the actions with full knowledge that they were suspects on the run or not, it was still a criminal matter in their eyes. So we'll see if that is in fact the case when the documents are unsealed. But again, what we have here are now 3 more individuals who are facing some kind of charges in connection to Boston. So the scope of this investigation is clearly expanding, Megyn.